What is up, guys? Fair and Unfair here.
I'm fair.
And I'm Unfair, and today we're going to be flipping some cards.
I personally am just going to be flipping over into the grave.
Yeah, but if you've always wanted to be a burn player but hate the color red, this is the deck for you. And you'll see exactly why in just a moment.
Yeah, it makes people really angry.
Alright, so here are our burn cards. We've got Wall of Lost Thoughts, Ruin Crab, and Merfolk Secret Keeper. Ruin Crab specifically is probably our best of the creatures because of the fact that it has a consistent mill effect. We've got a couple of one-shot mill effects in Compelling Argument, Maddening Cacophony, and Sweet Oblivion. And then we got our recurring mill effects in Drowned Secret, Psychic Corrosion, and Teferi's Tutelage. They are pretty much the same card, but Teferi's Tutelage has the looting effect. Ashiok Dream Render is randomly really good against graveyard-based decks. It also exiles Uros, and it also mills up to 20 cards, which is great. Disruption and Into the Story are just really good extra cards to have. Being able to either play this as a land for your Ruin Crab or being able to counter stuff is great. And then Into the Story is really good for refilling your hand whenever you get really close to running out of cards. Our land base is a bit different. We are actually playing Ipnu Rivulet as an additional mill effect with Desert of the Mindful because you can either cycle it to get some draw mill effects, or you can sacrifice it to Ipnu Rivulet because it's desert. Scavenger Grounds also allows us to exile graveyards as well, because there are a lot of graveyard shenanigans in the format. Fabled Passages are being used literally just so that way we can get additional Rune Crab triggers. And then the sideboard, Grafdigger's Cage, I mean, we want to make sure that the graveyards are not being utilized. Ether Gust, red, green is just a really good color combination in the format right now. Winds of Rebuke is really good for problematic permanents. Mystical Dispute for any of the control decks. Sleep and Whelming Wave for being able to deal with all of the really aggressive decks. Into the Story for being able to draw an additional couple cards if we're playing against a grindier deck. And then Low Mage's Domination, this was his idea, I actually really like it. It's able to take Uros for 3 mana because of the fact that by the time we get to turn 3, we should be able to, they should have 8 or more cards in their graveyard. So yeah, that's the whole list, and let's go ahead and get into a game. Alright, so for Mono Blue Burn, we get to play first, and that's always something we'd like to see, but No Lander is the opposite of what we'd like to see, so we're going to mull that.
That's technically a 2-lander. You just throw back a Tutelage, and I think it's fine.
I think it's worth it. It sucks that we won't be able to play the Secret Keeper on turn 1, but like, this is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we're playing 2 Disruptions, because of the fact that it can be land as well, going from 21 to 23 lands, even though we're playing, this is going to be a tough matchup, actually.
Oh,
okay, so we
go Crab.
Yep.
And then you get to go deeper.
Yep, mill them for 7 this turn. Company's always good to mill. Wait, they're playing Company?
I'm playing
Bloodstone
ovens.
Yeah, we're fine with taking 2 ovens.
What is this, like, pre-ban standard junk food? I don't...
Well, they had the 3rd oven.
I think you have a faster clock.
Yeah, we probably do. Especially if we draw a land here, because then we can play Tutelage. I mean, we're probably just going to play the Maddening Cacophony, right?
Yeah, probably.
We just want to mill them as much as possible, as soon as possible. Like, the walls are good for secondary stuff. One thing I don't like about playing against Cat Oven is the fact that they always gain priority because of Witch's Oven.
Yeah, it makes the games take a really long time.
Yeah, because they don't realize that they have to pass turn anytime I do something. So, the cool thing about this deck is the fact that we have access to, like, the Wall of Lost Thoughts and the Merfolk Secret Keepers. They are just randomly good blockers against creatures that, against any creatures that have 3 or less power, which is most of the format. And so, like, we can block Nissa lands while we're finishing their mill, for example.
Or cats.
True. And then most of our creatures, like even Rune Crab, just has them, like, okay, that's not the greatest, but, like, we'll take it. So we'll play this tapped, and then we'll play a Wall of Lost Thoughts so we can start blocking that Midnight Reaper safely. Still a mill 7, like, we're okay with that. And then we already have half their library gone. If we were playing Burn, they would already be at 10. Or 9, actually.
Oh no, they just gained a life.
And
drew
a
they're drawing
card.
cards. Okay.
So they lost a life technically against us.
What is it? Every 3 cards is like 1 life point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if you, for example, Wall of Lost Thoughts, only does a little over one. It does 1.1 1/3 damage to them.
Oh, and they just milled herself too.
Yeah. But we have a lot of mill effects, like Ruin Crab hits them
Actually,
for 1 every time we
We
play.
have to hope they don't have a Mayhem Double here. Mayhem Double plus, like, Woe Strider is really bad for us.
Well, good thing they didn't have either. And we'll just block, take 1 if they attack. Like the Priest of Forgotten Gods, like they're going to sacrifice, they'll use its ability and we'll sacrifice our Wall of Lost Thoughts.
I think they were hoping we would block differently.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they were aiming for there. We want to keep our Ruin Crab at a decent chunk. Okay, that's pretty great because now we can play Tutelage and Secret Keeper. Secret Keeper is an additional blocker.
I was gonna say wait to see like what you draw off the Tutelage. Oh, Mayhem Devil going to the graveyard. It's a great sign.
True. You were right, because we would have wanted to play that first. I think we're going to discard it though now. Like it's a bit slow, like we'd rather play this. And keep this as an extra mill, because they're at 21.
Yeah, they go to 20, then they go to 18. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, you were right. I definitely should have played the Tutelage first before I played the land. Because then we could have milled them an additional 6. Or an additional 3, I mean. Then we just discard the Wall of Lost Thoughts in that case, and then have the Secret Keeper on the side to be an additional blocker. They're down to 18 cards in their library. Anytime we draw, it's an additional 2. We're going to play the Wall of Lost Thoughts, putting them down to 17, 15, 11.
And every time they sacrifice the cat, they draw a card.
Yeah.
Is it May? I think it's May.
Nope, there's no May.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
Speaking of May, Mayhem Devil is pretty good.
Every sack that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 life. 7, 8, 9. We're probably dead this turn and next turn.
So we need to see how they play it, because they are technically drawing cards as well, though.
Yeah, like a Maddening Cacophony off the top might win the game.
Yeah. The fact that they're targeting our Ruin Crab instead of us is definitely helpful too, though. I love that we milled 2 of their ovens and they drew the other 2.
Yep.
Such a strange deck for Wizards to have created. So there are 15 cards left in their library. They're going to activate the Priest, probably sacrificing Butcher and the Familiar. No, they're not going to sacrifice that because they want the food token.
I mean, you can sacrifice anything to get the food token.
True. It's just a matter of, like...
And they draw 2 more cards.
Oh.
That's not terrible. So that milled the same amount as Wall, though.
But
there's a chance you get a 1-drop out of it to play as a blocker or another, like, mill spell or something.
If they don't have us dead next turn, I think it's better to play this.
So they definitely can have us dead next turn, but it's also possible that they just mill themselves to death.
Yeah, there's a very good chance. I think it's better to play the Tutelage here and then see if we can draw a Venture Deeper.
Wow.
Impressive. So we milled them for 4 here, putting them down to 9. Then we milled them for another 4, putting them down to 5. So they can only sacrifice 5 permanents, or 5 creatures, and then they lose.
They probably sacrificed the Midnight Reaper, though.
Well, at this point, we're just playing to our outs. Sometimes that's the best you can do. And then if they don't kill us, we win, because the double Tutelage will kill them. Plus, we have 2 blockers as well, so we can avoid a decent chunk of damage. We're at 12.
One of them's probably going to go away right here.
Alright, so let's see how it goes.
Can you play your deck correctly, opponent?
I mean, yeah.
It's really not that difficult. They're going to draw... Oh, wait, no. They draw 3 cards off of activation because Priest makes you draw a card.
Yep, that's right. And they have 4 cards left in their library. So we actually might have a decent chance here. They
Nope.
just...
Nope.
Okay. I guess we
Apparently
win.
not.
I guess we win. Do they realize that they have 4 cards left? They're going to combat already.
Yeah, they die if they activate that priest. So you just throw it in front of it, 3/3 and the 3. Yeah.
They can't kill us. I'm lost.
The second knight literally just kills them.
Yeah. Now they can only sacrifice 2 creatures. Is it an other creature?
No, it's any.
Oh, so even if they sacrifice that first, they... Okay, we win.
Good job, opponent.
Alright, and that's why we play to our outs.
We go to 4 when the cat comes back, and then...
And that's it. Like, they can't finish it. Alright. Good game. I think they just realized that we won there. Alright, cool. Alright, so we just brought in some cages, we brought in some gusts, and we're gonna run it. I think this is perfectly fine as well, because this exiles the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yep. Not exactly the fastest hand, but we have access to turn 1, mill them for turn 2, return something to their library. Oh, never mind. I think we play that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which one you play.
That's right. I'd rather play the blue source. Hide this, because this also exiles graveyards, which is great, because everything in our hand is a desert. Okay. So we are almost certainly just going to play both sides of this. I think that's the best move.
Keep in mind you're taking 1 damage every time you use the blue source.
True, but I think this is actually a pretty fine move.
Oh my god! Oh my
Wow.
god!
That's a good mill.
Oh my god! I don't think I've ever seen a mill that good.
That was pretty good. That's another great thing about playing mono blue burn. You get to see the opponent's best cards go away. And apparently they didn't have a good hand. I think we're just going to play an Ashiok here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to play it like that. We'll go down to 16 here, but then at that point, like, the Fabled Past will find us an island, and we will be fine with just...
Cat. Oh, no cat.
No cats, but they are down to 43 cards in the library already.
Library.
I'm practicing my Dracula. Library.
Why do you think they say blah blah blah?
Yeah, the only way for this deck to really be able to beat us is if they have a very, very aggressive start, like they did last game. Like, they had a very good chance to beat us, but they didn't...
They literally gave us the game.
Yeah, they didn't utilize it properly, and now we're in a great spot. I think we're just going to play the Desert of the Mindful,
Yeah,
tapped.
I like playing that tapped, and
I think we're just going to... Actually, let's activate Rivulet, sacrificing...
maybe just one of the rivulets, just
Yeah.
because they're hurting us.
I agree, we don't need more than one. Wait. What? Targeted player.
Just do auto pay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't realize what was going on. And we milled him for 4, and then we milled him for another 4.
Look at all those red sources that they don't have.
True. More. Oh my god, so much. And let's go. And
Beautiful.
yeah, we are perfectly fine with this. The Secret Keeper is going to keep
Secrets.
it's going to keep back attackers.
Get that too.
And that's that's how the game goes. It's really difficult to come back from stuff like that whenever you're playing a graveyard deck.
Our opponent literally flipped into their grave twice.
Yeah, true.
First because they gave us the game, and then because they gave us the game again.
Yeah. So one thing to note about this deck specifically. Ooh, a
Look at that
Jace.
Jace!
One thing to note about this deck specifically for anybody who is interested in building it is that if you didn't notice, we only have Drowned Secrets, Maddening Cacophonies,
The Scavenger
Fabled
Grounds,
Passages, and Scavenger Grounds, and Grafdigger's Cage. Those are our only rares, and Overwhelming Wave.
17 out of 75.
Yes, and the Fabled Passages are able to be swapped out for Evolving Wilds if you're wanting to go for a budget deck. This is a very good way to start playing if you're interested in playing the Historic format.
18. Whelming Waves are rare.
Yes, I said
I
Whelming
didn't count
Wave.
that.
Okay, and Whelming Wave can be swapped out for another Sleep as well. You don't need. There are very, very few important rares in this deck. If you wanted to build it, I would personally say Drowned Secrets would probably be the first one I would want to build. Second would be Maddening Cacophony, and then third would be Scavenger Grounds. Especially if you're wanting to play best of one, which a lot of people do whenever they're first getting into it. But this is a great deck to start off with if you're wanting to play something that's a little off the beaten path, but you still want to play something a lot really, really fun.
And you really want to beat people.
Exactly.
Or just make them angry.
Yeah, it's also really good against any type of like mid-range or control deck. So if you hate playing against those decks, this is the perfect deck for you.
This is literally a buy against control decks.
Yep. But yeah, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell so that way you can see our videos every single week, because we always try to bring the coolest things we can to our viewers. And then come hang out with us on Twitch. We stream every Friday from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. and we're going to start adding Mondays to that time very, very soon as well for Modern, if you guys are into that.
I'm into that.
I'm into that as well. But yeah, we'll see you guys again next week.